What's going on, football overseas? My name is Kevin from Blaugrana Zone. I'm bringing you predictions for La Liga Matchday 35. Let's jump right into it. First off, we've got Osasuna versus Levante. Osasuna lost to the eventual, soon to be, maybe tomorrow, maybe this weekend, La Liga champions Barcelona. They lost 2-1, very narrow victory for Barca, but the goal did come later in the game for Osasuna. Solid win for Barca. But unfortunately, Osasuna took that loss. Levante lost last week 5-1 to Villarreal. So neither of these teams are really on the up and up. I don't expect either one to be doing well, but I predict Osasuna will win just because losing to Barca is more honorable than losing to Villarreal, in my opinion. So I think Osasuna will come in for that win. Up next, we've got Elche versus Deportivo Alaves. Neither one of these teams has been impressive at all at any point this year. Alaves coming off of a 2-4 loss to Atletico Bilbao, whereas Elche is coming off of a loss as well to Celta Vigo 3-1. Man, battle of mid. I could really see this one being a tie. Neither team has attacking prowess. Neither team has defensive prowess. This might just be a tie, but I might give the win to Alaves just because historically they seem to be better than Elche. But this one could very well end up as a tie. Next, we've got Sevilla versus Espanyol. Espanyol took a loss to Real Madrid. Pretty unfortunate loss because they didn't play a horrible game. And Sevilla 1-0 win against Real Sociedad. I think Espanyol will get this win. I think Espanyol has been the better team this season. Even though the thing about Sevilla is their peak was beating Barca and then everything was downhill. So I can't even respect Sevilla's season. But obviously Espanyol, I think, will get the win. Next up, we've got Celta Vigo versus Atletico Madrid. I mentioned earlier, Celta Vigo 3-1 against Elche. Atletico de Madrid 2-0 win against Valencia. Nothing impressive. It's just Valencia, even though Atletico Madrid were rotating because they had hopes of a UCL, but hold that Atletico de Madrid. Unfortunately, I think that they will win this game. They got to go all out to secure that last UCL spot. Atletico Madrid have not been good in La Liga, so I think they will. That's all they have to push for now. So I think that they will get this win. Up next, we've got Sociedad versus Real Betis. As I mentioned before, Sociedad lost to Sevilla, and Real Betis won against Real Oviedo. Not very impressive to lose to Sevilla, but it's not impressive to beat Oviedo. I think this week will be a good test for both these teams. We're going to see where they end up for next season. Like I said before, La Liga has a 5th UCL spot, so they're going to be fighting for this one. I think Betis can get that win. Up next, we've got Mallorca versus Villarreal. Mallorca, very surprising win against Girona. And Villarreal 5-1 to Levante. Good win. Obviously, Mallorca's not going to win this. Whoever thinks about Mallorca winning this, get a CT scan, brother, because Mallorca has been dog water all season, and they'll continue to be that. Win for Villarreal. Up next, we've got Atletico Bilbao versus Valencia. Valencia lost 2-0 to Atletico de Madrid, whereas Bilbao won 4-2 to Deportivo Alaves. Really tricky situation, but I think Bilbao will get it just because, they have to show some kind of pedigree in La Liga, right? Bilbao is a pretty respected club, kind of for no reason, in my opinion. So I think that they will win this game against Valencia. Up next, we've got Oviedo versus Getafe. Oviedo lost 3-0 to Betis. Getafe lost 2-0 to Rayo Vallecano. This is the battle of Harambal. This is going to be a tough match with Oviedo and Getafe. But I think Getafe will ultimately get a win. It's going to be like a 1-0 victory. Very boring game. But up next, we've got the marquee, the highlight of this weekend, El Clásico, Barça versus Real Madrid at Camp Nou. If Barça wins this game, we are La Liga champions. We will raise a trophy once again in front of Real Madrid. Obviously, I predict Barcelona is going to win. If you couldn't tell before, I'm going to predict Barcelona to win. It's going to be a good victory. I think it could be like 3-1, 3-2, especially with all the turmoil Madrid's been going through. Both these teams are coming off wins. Madrid has some hopes of a La Liga title race, even though it's well over now. This is going to be our victory lap. I'm saying victory for Barcelona. And last but not least, we've got Rayo Vallecano versus Girona. Girona, like I said, they lost 1-0. Rayo Vallecano won 2-0 to Getafe. I think Girona is just like Mallorca, one of the punching bags of La Liga. So I think Rayo Vallecano will step in and make their presence known. Win for Rayo Vallecano. I honestly think I think all my predictions are going to be right this weekend. Let me know in the comments if you think otherwise. If you want to see more of me, it's at Blaugrana Zone. Thank you so much, Football Overseas, and I'll see you next time.